What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our channel. I'm C.
I'm P.
Excuse me. And today we are going to be reacting to this video. That's called "Should Men That..." Who is it? This the what's this show called? I forgot what it's called. The View.
Chat?
I think it's called The View.
No, this is not The View. Is it The View?
Yeah, I think it's The View.
I don't know.
Should paternity test be mandatory? We're gonna give our thoughts after the video is done.
His face says it all.
But let's see what they think about this situation.
As always, like, subscribe, ring that bell so you can be notified for our upcoming videos.
Is allegedly caught up in some baby mama drama. Lord. The artist posted a comment that was later shared on the Shade Room, and it seems that he's basically begging his ex to provide a paternity test for their children. He also claims he's not a deadbeat dad, but deserves to know for sure if he's supporting kids of his own. So ladies, this got me thinking, do you think, like, what if there was a day where maternity tests were actually, like, mandatory?
Do you know who your baby daddy is?
I'm sorry, paternity. You guys, what if there was a day where paternity tests were actually mandatory? Why aren't they?
Do you know who your baby daddy is?
I do.
Exactly.
But can I can I say this honestly? Yes. If they were.
Okay, she's not. Okay, I don't know if she's saying what. Okay, let's continue.
I think it depends.
I don't know. No, this said, do you know who the baby daddy is, right?
Do you know who your baby
daddy
is?
Is she implying that if the girl tells you it's yours, then you should believe her? Is that what she's implying?
She's implying if you had sex with somebody and you're becoming pregnant, you should know who the father of your child is.
But a lot of girls don't know. So
I was about to say, it really depends, to be honest. It depends on how much of a hoe you are.
We have Maury. We have, what was it, Jerry Springer? Yeah. Why do the shows that exist?
That's why I said it depends on how much of a little, you are.
How much should you get around?
Yeah.
I do.
Exactly.
But can I say this honestly? Yes. If they were mandatory, I would proudly take one because I want you to know. That's right. I want you to know that all of this I'm going through right now, that's you. Back that's not even buttoned up. That's you. Because of you. That's you. I don't understand why they're not mandatory. Yeah. I feel that parents should absolutely know what they've contributed to, and children should absolutely definitively know who their parents are.
All my cards. Look. I was reading about that, and there are activists that are trying to get a law to make it but it's not passing because for some women they feel that it would make more of a stigma against women. You know,
it
that
makes
men
a stigma if you don't want to share the results. Yeah, right. It becomes a stigma. If it was just mandatory and it was all over, the stigma would actually go away. It gets weird because people got to be asking you, am I your baby father? Maury Povich moments, Are you the father?
But don't
if
you
it was
think
just
it's
mandatory and we just...
that two people have sex and there's a possibility that woman's going to get pregnant, that it's a mature decision that, yeah, you are the father?
And you should know. But I think
I don't know. You know what she's saying?
I think she's not... Either she doesn't want to admit that there's whores in the world, or she's very blind to the fact that there's whores in the world. She's pretty much saying that if you're having sex with somebody, unprotected sex, you know in your mind that there's a chance that you're going to be pregnant. Okay. And then when you get pregnant, you should know it was the person I had sex with.
How about if you have sex with 5 different guys and it's been
That's what I'm saying. I feel like she doesn't want to admit that women could be whores, or like she's clueless about that. I don't know.
Like she said, the stigma will go away. If it was mandatory, like I think they mentioned privacy here. The only people you guys should have test with is you and the person you think is
the doctor, you and the baby
daddy. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no one else
or
to know.
if you're dating somebody at the time and he's not the father, you gotta let him know. But so that's like 3 to 4 people max.
I feel so bad for guys who literally. There are guys who probably raise kids that's not theirs that didn't never found that about.
There's stories about that.
Exactly.
People that raise kids to be up until 18 years of age and then found out that they're not actually the father.
Yeah, and I think the reason girls don't want it to happen because they're scared. Because the baby is not the guy's not wanting to take care of the baby. And you know the person that the baby belongs to is a deadbeat that's not going to take care of it. Because a lot of girls, what they do is they will know who the father is, right? But they don't want this guy to be the kid's father because he's the deadbeat. So they will tell somebody else who has a stable job, who's successful, that they are the father. This happens all the time. That's why it being mandatory for me is just common sense. If we are able to take the test, why shouldn't it be mandatory? If I'm signing the birth certificate for baby, I want to make sure it's mine.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too,
crazy.
That's too crazy.
That's crazy either.
I feel like she's like the other girls. I feel like they're like
they
they're
understand,
for it, but she's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know what her problem is.
Stigma goes away when it becomes mandatory. When it becomes the norm that everyone has to do this, this is just the way it is. We're just checking to make sure. Just like you get all the tests when you are pregnant. You're taking blood tests, you're making sure the dad's healthy, you're making sure mom's healthy.
Well, it's
Let's
good
just
for
make sure it's your baby.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
It's good for the genetics.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
Yes.
But I think that there's still an issue with, it's stigmatizing. Women are already, women are already held to a different standard when it comes to, if you're married, but...
See, she know what she's saying. See how she's stumbling over her words? I think she's trying to make a point that there's no point there. There's no point. So she don't know what to... She's trying to make a point, but it's not coming out.
She's trying to defend the single women that have multiple partners and that feel like they know who the baby daddy is and blah, blah, blah. And they don't want to be like... Because... When a man comes to you and demands that he wants a maternity test, you're gonna paternity test. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, you're gonna get a little offended. It's human nature. You're gonna be like, what? You don't believe me? You think I'm lying to you? Like, what the heck?
But if it was mandatory, you wouldn't have that because you just do it after you go get a baby. You automatically do it.
Like they said, with all the other checkups you gotta do, it's gonna be a part of the procedure. So
that awkward moment don't have to exist.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I feel like she's trying to like women is going through so much already. Trying to make women's victims. Like that's just like the victim mindset. That's what she's trying to do,
though. It's about your protection, the father's protection, and the child's.
Yeah, because she's automatically talking about how women are going through so much now.
See,
blah, blah, blah.
The problem is a lot of women these days, they could be selfish. They're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about their children. They're not thinking about their partner. They just think about what they want out of it.
Let's continue.
Are already held to a different standard when it comes to, if you're married, but a lot of them that aren't married and having multiple partners and things like that. So I think that's what that has to deal with. But I mean, if they can pass a law,
wait.
So I think but a lot of them that aren't married and having multiple partners and things like that. So I think that's what that has to deal with. But I mean, if they can pass a law.
She was like, you married, so you're not worried about that. So are you saying that if you're not married, you're sleeping with like 5 different guys and it's been a week? Because she was like, you married. You're like applying that because you're married. You're gonna worry about that.
The single life is the single life, man.
Jesus, man. And that is exactly why we need it to be mandatory. Because you have sex with a girl, she said, oh, you're the father. She might have sex with like 10 different guys. She might have sex with 10 other different guys. And the guy doesn't know. So you believe the bitch. So, you're like...
But the guys are doing the same thing. Single guys, or how many bitches they fucking in a week, in a day.
I know.
Come on.
But the effect of that is way less for guys. Mm-hmm. Because for a girl...
Yeah, but if you're having unprotected sex, your swimmers are the ones that are making the babies.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So both
but don't
parties,
blame me for it.
I'm not blaming you.
I'm
saying there's blame on both sides. You know what I mean? We got if I'm gonna get pregnant.
Let me think about this. No, because the woman has a responsibility
to find out who the father is.
Exactly, and to know that she cannot have sex with 20 different people like guys can and have no repercussions.
But guys have repercussions too. They're the ones making the babies.
Of course, but it's more for women because women gotta carry the baby for 9 months and then take care of the baby.
Yeah, but
so I'm saying, as a woman, you should be like, shit, I need to be more conservative about who I'm obsessed with because if I get pregnant, the drawbacks are mostly mine.
Men should have the same standard. Because,
of course.
Because of the fact that the baby is going to be yours. You're going to have to take care of that child. If you're not able to take care of that child, then you shouldn't be going around having unprotected sex with every other bitch you see.
Facts. But
so that's what I'm saying. It's both sides.
I agree with you, but still, you see how the women, it hurts the women more.
It does.
So the woman should know that and be like, I'm not gonna just sleep around with 5 different guys unprotected because I might get pregnant for not 9 months and I have to take care of a baby, right? And not knowing who the father is.
I think both
it affects. I know, of course, I agree with that. They're both to blame. They both should do that, but it affects the woman more. So the woman should. I know. So the woman shouldn't be as laissez-faire about just having sex with so many people because it affects them the more. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter if it affects me more or less. We both shouldn't do that because either way, in the end of the day, it's going to affect us. It may affect me more, but it's still affecting you, and it's definitely going to affect the kid that we have.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think you understand I don't think you're really getting what I'm saying here.
Yeah. You're saying it's going to affect women more, so if they are going to get affected more, they should be more likely to be more careful about who they're having sex with.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying it should be both because of the fact that...
I agree with you. It should be both.
I know, I'm
saying
with you too.
The woman should actually be more careful than the men because they have so much to lose. Because men can just knock a girl up and just bounce. You know what I mean? And that's it. But a girl can do that. If a girl brings him to court, he has standards that he has to Okay, let's say you're with 10 different guys. The guy moved to another country. How the fuck are you going to find them? Let's say you go out to a club. You have to with them guy. You don't even know the guy. You don't even know where he lives, what he does, and he just lives. You live, he lives. You gotta take care of that baby for 9 months, and you don't really gotta worry about it. You get what I mean?
Yeah, in those scenarios, yes.
And that's what I mean. It affects the woman more. Because even if you know the father is, you take him to court, he's paying child support, he's paying you a couple of $100. If he doesn't want to be in that child's life, he can pay you a couple of $100 and never be in that child's life and go living his bachelor life. But you gotta carry that baby for 9 months.
And take care of
it. You gotta take care of it. Exactly.
Yep.
So see what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, both people are implicit on what's happening. But because you're a woman, you have to worry about that more. So you have to be more conservative about that kind of stuff. Yes, Christine.
Yes, I want to read a case that happened, and maybe you guys know about this. Oh, Lord, here we go. A judge of the Delta State High Court, it was one of those, where Anthony Okorotis allegedly discovered that 3 children he had with his ex-wife were not his biological offspring. According to the judge in the statement, his former wife, Celia Juliet Ototo, walked away from the marriage when the youngest child, now 17 years old, was just 6. So from 17 till 6, this man has been paying for these 3 kids just because, he's doing the right thing as a dad.
They ain't look like him?
You gotta look up the story, guys, because it's intense.
I just don't want women stigmatized about they get pregnant, and then the minute they get pregnant, who is the actual father?
Well,
if it's mandatory, there won't be no stigmatization because everyone has to do it. What is she not understanding? And this woman who does this kind of shit, like you're evil. Like to know or to even suspect that the kid might not be the guy's, and to not tell him about it and let him waste the kids. Knowing that the kid might not be his, I couldn't do that.
And I couldn't do that. But I could kind of understand the mindset
of a woman who does that.
Of a woman,
please,
but I would never do it.
Okay, explain the mindset.
Because they would be they're probably thinking of the child, of okay, this guy is a great child. He's gonna raise my kid right. Not saying it's right, and not saying they should ever do this to a man because.
But why would you do that though? And lie to the man. So I'm saying.
And then you're also hurting the child because the child's growing up thinking this is his father, and then he's gonna find out that he's not. But at the time when they do it, when they first make that decision, they're thinking about their kid and their future. But then, as time goes on and they're really down that rabbit hole, they're gonna realize, oh shit, I made a mistake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even though you think, the kid's father is a deadbeat, I want him to be the father, I want this guy to be the father instead. To not tell him and watch him play with the kids. Watch him calling the kid's son and daughter. Watching the kids call him father. And not feel that way about it. and not tell the truth, I can't imagine how you could do that.
You could easily tell him in the beginning, and he might still choose to make those kids his kids.
But then she's afraid that if he tells him, he's gonna be like, it's not my kid, I'm not gonna take care of it. They're afraid of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. But still though, I couldn't do it, man.
I couldn't do it either.
But let's finish this video. But I feel like she's like, oh, women is women. Like shut up.
They get pregnant, and then the minute they get pregnant, who is the actual father? Because there are a lot of responsible women that know who they having sex with. They know who they pregnant by.
Absolutely.
And all of that.
Wait, do you know some friends who maybe aren't sure because they're not married, and they're not sure because they've just been...
Well, you can be married and not know.
Clearly, in this case, you know what I'm saying? But this is my thing. I feel like it's a win-win situation when there is mandatory paternity tests. It's a win-win situation because the father knows his responsibility, and the mother now has to hold him to that responsibility.
I think if people are married, it shouldn't be that way because you might be doing some business that you don't need to do, and you gotta work.
They need to know. They need to know.
I'm gonna stand on that one.
I thought it was the View, but I guess it's the View.
It's like the View.
Yeah. But the thing is, the only people who lose here are the only people who lose are the hoes. That's the only person who lose. If you believe that you are an honest person, you haven't been hoeing around, this shouldn't bother you at all.
Even if you have been hoeing around, I feel like a lot of people don't really think 100% about the kid. They're so stuck about oh, I'm embarrassed because I'm a hoe, or what if this guy leaves me, and how am I gonna raise this baby if I don't know who daddy is, and blah blah blah. They're thinking so much about themselves. Like, listen to all those things I said. Any of that have anything to do with the actual baby? If you're having this test, it's all about really the child, to be honest with you. It's the child's protection. You're finding out who the father is. You're finding out who is going to help you raise this kid. It's really for the kid, mostly.
I mean, they can argue that the reason I'm choosing the better guy to be the father is for the kid. They could be like, but that's a lie. I don't like the lie.
It doesn't matter because if the better guy was really the better guy and he really cared about you, whether that was his kid or not, that would be his kid. You know what I mean?
In the beginning, like let's say you marry somebody, and then you find out the kid's not yours. That'd be different cheating on you.
That's different. I'm talking about in the beginning when you first find out that a girl is pregnant.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So you think? Let me use my example. I go to a club, right? Mm-hmm. Just with a girl, right? She come back to me. I miss my period. I'm pregnant. It's yours, right? And I believe the baby's mine, right? We go to the hospital. She have a baby, a paternity test. Find out the kid is not mine. Mm-hmm. You think being a good guy is taking care of that kid even though it's not mine? No, I'm
saying if you really cared about her, like let's say you met her at a club, that's different. I'm talking about the scenario where you guys you met, and you're starting a date. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what's that called? What's that movie called? The Backup Plan, where she her biological clock was ticking away, and she didn't think that she was ever gonna be able to find a man and settle down and have kids the old-fashioned way. So she had a baby be induced inside her, and while the baby was cooking, and she didn't know if it was in there yet, still if the eggs went through or not. She actually met a guy.
See, that's different. Go to the original story. Let's say you meet a guy, right? You meet a girl, you meet a guy. A guy and a girl.
And before that, you were with another guy and you had sex with him, and there's now a child in your belly, but you don't know it yet. Yeah. And now you meet this guy, and then the guy ends up falling for you or whatever. You guys have a connection, and then you find out, oh, I'm pregnant. And
then the guy thinks it's his. You think you still the guy is his.
No, you don't tell the guy it's his. You find out. Like you find out who the baby is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like let's say if you think it's his, okay, it might be yours. And then if you have the baby and there's a paternity test, you find out that it's not his. If he really cares about you, he might stay.
Okay. So you're saying that a guy and girls are going out, right? Mm-hmm. Before they started going out, she started with people, right? Mm-hmm. While you guys are in a relationship, she got pregnant.
No, while you were in a relationship, she was already pregnant.
So you say
because of the guy that she had before.
So the guy is going out with her, but the guy already knows she's pregnant. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so
they
started going out, right?
She had a past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it even more. Okay, I had sex with this
random.
Let's not make it
more, make it less.
No, I'm giving you a better scenario.
Uh-huh.
I had sex with this random guy before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm dating you.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea that I'm pregnant.
And I'm not aware you're pregnant.
And you have no idea.
And I found out you're pregnant.
And then you find out I'm pregnant.
I'm
not sure if it's yours or not.
I'm done right there.
So
because the only reason I will stay is if you tell me the baby is mine. That's the only reason I will stay.
Even if you really?
Yeah. Because the point of finding out somebody is pregnant is what? It's like a month or two. You say I should fall in love in a month or two.
Well, I'm saying if you care about the person, depends on. I would think it depends on how much you care about the person. If you're willing to stay with them, even though that's not your child.
So I met a girl in a month.
Sometimes you meet people. Sometimes you meet people and they already have kids. You're telling me you're not gonna date them because of their kids?
No, I want this about with kids because I don't want kids right now because I don't think I'm ready for kids right now. So if I meet a girl and she has kids,
I'm talking about that certain people. Some people
most guys
might be willing.
Most guys are not willing to do that. Like I mean, you meet a girl and a month later you find out she's pregnant by another guy. Most guys are dipping right there. The only way the guy will stay in a relationship if he believes that the baby is his. Mm. Do you agree that most guys are willing?
What if she already had kids?
Then I go in the relationship knowing she already have kids. Then I make a choice if I should go out with her or not. You see the difference? Because I already know. But if I go in a relationship believing that you don't have kids, and then a month later I find out you're pregnant by another guy, now that's a big thing now. Now I gotta make a decision. Should I stay or should I go? Because I didn't know before. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but she didn't know either.
That's fine, but that's a big thing to explain to somebody. Because a kid is a huge responsibility. Yeah. So if a guy decides to leave because of a kid, I'm not gonna be mad at that. That's it. Would you the guy stay and he's not a good father to the kid, or a guy stay he's not willing to be a father?
I agree.
That's what I mean. So the only people who got worry about that are the hoes. That's the point I was making. But this video is getting on, guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I get it. We were just saying a bunch of scenarios to try to understand each other.
Exactly. I think they try to understand, like, them too, because I feel like if a guy find out that you're pregnant a month after he went out with you, then he will stay. Most guys if you tell him the baby is his, and he say, "Oh, before you, I said with another guy, but now I'm going out with you." I gotta take care of that kid now.
It's such a sticky situation, especially nowadays, because people are so free when it comes to sex.
Exactly.
That's why I agree with what's her name? I always forget her name. The
one
from
in
Cheetah Girls. Yeah. That's why I agree with her. Like, if it's mandatory, it becomes part of the norm.
And the stigma
it will be a win-win all around for you, the husband, and the children.
Except for the host.
Well, except for the gold diggers, I would say, because the people that lie about it are the ones that are doing it because of the fact that they want the money to raise both the child
and
themselves, pretty much.
But alright, guys, all we gotta say, tell us what you think about this in the comment section. Tell us, should paternity tests be mandatory?
Like,
comment.
Subscribe.
See you next time.
Bye.